Hey, what's up, Black 22 Nation? It's your boy Gobo. With me is this fucking guy. It's NFL. I'm back in it. I'm wearing my Vikings jersey because for the first time I feel like I have something in common with Vikings fans this season. And the fact that we sucked in the wild card game. Um, all right, James,
What's up?
how you feeling knowing that nobody on this show has a team to root for in the upcoming weeks?
Well, that might not entirely be true. I just did the guy from Independence Day when you asked about
That's that's not
area and area is what
completely accurate.
that's not entirely accurate. Yeah,
Thing's been down here for years.
yeah.
We have no idea if it even flies. Anyways,
People are
sorry.
dying out there. Exciting is not the word I'd choose to describe it.
Dr. Oaken.
Oh man.
Oh, oh my God. Let's just talk about Independence. So we're gonna
Yeah, that's more fun.
Yeah, fucking Joel Schumacher's one time he didn't shit the bed. Um anyways, talking about shitting the bed, we'll talk a little bit about wild card. Well, we'll start in college. We'll start in college. Um really one thing to say, not a lot of news. We have our matchup, Ohio State, Penn State, oh no, not Penn
Dame.
State.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, sorry. That's where my brain is at. Like I've Notre Dame. Yes. Ohio State Notre Dame. So the first ever matchup in college football playoff history, and it's these like two extremely storied football schools. And say what you will about these programs, I'm happy we did the playoff because it shows you can have a shit game and still be the best team in the best team in college
Dude,
football.
and that was the problem with college football before the playoff.
Exactly.
You accidentally lost on week one, you were done.
I remember during the Barack Obama presidential campaign in 2008, they asked him, they're like, when you become president, what's the first thing you change? He said, I'll tell you what, first thing I'm going to do is put in a playoff system for college football. Not that, and now, I mean, it took, 20-ish more years for it to get accomplished and, several other presidents, but we got there and it's for the best. I think this is the best system. Now that if they authorize NIL in every state and not just the cool ones, then we'll be in a better.
You
Well,
know,
then
you know
college
what's
football might just be perfect.
you know what the coolest part about it is, Gobo? It's gonna be someone different every year. Like
Yeah,
there's not gonna be these
no more Alabama winning 6 championships in 10 years.
yeah, there's not gonna be these huge dynasties because you have to play at least three legitimate top 10 teams and
For
run
all the marbles.
and run the gambit. So it's
It's
gonna
a
be really
playoff. Yeah,
cool.
you have all of these no loss scenarios.
That's gonna be really cool moving forward.
Yeah.
Like these two teams aren't gonna might not be back there next year. I certainly don't think Notre Dame will be back there next
I
year.
mean, Ohio State's a banger, but yeah, they even if they do, they still got to win their playoff games.
Yep, yep, yep.
Nobody thought Oregon was going to lose, and they lost immediately by a lot.
By a lot.
Yeah, so I love it, man. I love the college
Fan.
football
I'm a
playoff.
fan.
I'm a fan. It's making me reinvigorate my passion for college football. Um, speaking of passion or lack thereof, so we'll talk about Wild Card Weekend. A couple of games that went kind of by the numbers that we expected. Denver and Buffalo. I was when Denver got that when Bo Nix threw that first touchdown, I was like, "Ooh, it's gonna be fun!" And then Buffalo got back up and punched him in the mouth, and it was over.
I am sad because that's the game that I was like, you guys fucked around with Denver and you let them get confident. And you know what? I still feel like the momentum shifted when that field goal bounced off the upright and they went into halftime down.
Yeah,
I feel like that was like a huge momentum shift. The
it
fake punt
was.
was awesome. I mean, yeah.
I
All
mean,
right.
it is what it is. Better team won. I mean, same with the Packers and Eagles game. I think that that's the outcome that most people expected. Not the outcome I was hoping for. I thought we could have played a little bit better. We made three turnovers in a game. You can't do that against a team like that and expect to win. Um,
How about Houston? Ooh.
Houston, bro. I did not. Yeah, there's a couple. I didn't see that one coming. I didn't see Washington beating the Bucks, and then of course, yeah, the Vikings not only losing but getting completely shut down by a Rams defense that has been pretty mediocre, like even at their best.
Yeah, aside of your game, which are you most surprised by?
Oh my God. I would say probably not that the Vikings lost to the Rams, but the fact that they lost in the way that they did.
Yeah, that was a
You know,
beatdown. It was a beatdown.
exactly. Like they got blasted, and it's not even like the Rams aren't that good. Like they're good. They won their division. Like they deserve to be in the playoffs, but the Vikings looked the last time we played them, they looked so tight, especially on defense. And I just
I
Sam Darnold, man.
continue to be impressed by Jaden Daniels, dude. He is so calm. I don't know. I know he had 55 starts in college, but still, like, how are you that calm in like the on fourth down when your coach is like, we're going for it every fourth down? And they did. Dan Quinn went for it like 5 times on fourth down. And sometimes they didn't get it, but I mean, Jaden Daniels was cucumber cool every single time they did it.
I
Uh,
mean, they're taking some cues out of the Detroit Lion playbook here.
yep. And I think I love Baker Mayfield, but he cost them the game with his turnovers. And that's
Same with Darnold.
sad.
Darnold, both those guys, potential comeback player of the year nominees, both of them, led their teams to, one of them got a division championship. One of them, was one game away from being the number one seed in the NFC, and then both of them ended up being exactly who we thought they were in the playoffs.
Yeah, let's talk about your game.
I mean,
were you
if
really
we must.
surprised? Were you really surprised that the Eagles are good?
Not at all. I
No.
was not surprised the Eagles were good. I was disappointed in the conservative play calls that we made, and Jordan Love was not making good decisions with the ball. I understand it was cold, but we were fumbling and committing a bunch of penalties. We made so many mistakes. Um, and then by the end of the game, it was like I wanted to throw the damn towel in because we lost our whole receiving core in this
Yeah,
game.
I know. And like even though there was like technically you guys weren't out of the game with like 5 minutes left, I was like,
No, we were done. When the defining moment, there was like 4 minutes left and we went for it on fourth down. And our backup receiver Heath caught it and like had totally enough room to get his feet down and stepped out of bounds before he touched his feet down on fourth down. I'm like, that's a mistake you can't make in the playoffs and expect to win games. You just
that's why
can't.
you're a backup receiver. Um,
And it's like that's why you're not a
what was your
starter,
guys'
son. I don't need to
overall
tell you.
record on the season?
What's that?
What was your record on the season?
Oh my God. Oh, the Packers record?
Yeah.
We were 11-6.
So does that include playoffs?
Well,
No.
11-7, including the
So
playoffs.
think about this, Gobo. 6 of your losses came to 3 teams. You
Yes,
actually lost to 3 teams twice, which is hard to do when you're a playoff team. I
it
mean, you've
is.
heard of division, like there's been times where the Jets got rolled by all 3 division, right? Like got swept by the division, but they didn't make the playoffs. I wonder if
Exactly.
a team has ever made the playoffs and lost to 3 teams twice.
I mean, it's got to be a wacky record. And it's funny, aside from that one loss to the Bears, every team we lost to was a playoff team.
Right. And the Bears one, you can't. I mean, history will see it. We've already talked
I
about
mean,
how
It's
history will
fine.
say
Let,
it.
let let the Bears have it. I don't give a shit at this point. Like whatever, they beat us. Whatever.
Yeah.
We're a better team. Nobody would ever debate us that way.
And I'm just to tap on the Pittsburgh Baltimore game. Um,
The Ravens are who we thought
this
they
is
were.
going to bring us into the news, which is let's talk about Mike Tomlin's future. They end the season, okay, 17 consecutive winning seasons, never been done before. And that's every season that he's been there. Never not had a winning season. I think he's made the playoffs 14 out of 17 times, but you ended this season with five consecutive losses when you were in control of the division. I don't see a scenario in which he's fired, but I see a scenario in which they mutually agree that he needs to move on.
Oh, that's tough. I mean, yeah, five consecutive losses is hard to stomach for sure. And then getting blasted by a division opponent in the playoffs, like it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to be a Steelers fan right now. If that dude from TikTok was on, he'd probably agree with us.
I'll say
Um,
this. My cousin Warren, who is a watcher of the show, what's up, War Dog? He said, and I quote, Mike Tomlin will be the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers next year. Write it down. So he
I
believes
tend to
not
agree with
going
him.
anywhere. But we'll see. I mean, there's seven openings right now. Um, that's plenty of jobs that would love to have him. So
Yeah,
he may
I
be.
don't see Tomlin wanting to leave, and if
Well,
it's mutual, they will not fire him.
when I say mutually, I'm saying they're gonna say, look,
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It
we'll
was
fire
kind of like
him.
it was like with Belichick and the Patriots. Like they were like,
Carroll,
"You're not fired, but you just don't work here anymore."
Pete Carroll, we're reducing your role, and now he's nowhere near the organization. I mean,
Yeah, we're reducing your role to not having your role.
we've mutually agreed for you to reduce your role as nothing.
Yes, yes, we're mutually agreeing to fire you. Um, no, I think Tomlin comes back to Pittsburgh next year. If this happens again, like if Pittsburgh goes stagnant and has like or like maybe let's say they go 9-8, barely break that like still winning record, but not making the playoffs, I think then we have a more serious conversation. Because you also got to think about look at what Mike Tomlin did with quarterbacks that other teams had discarded.
Yeah, I mean that's a presents another challenge for him because I think Russell Wilson will be elsewhere next year.
Yeah, I don't see him with the Steelers.
I think he'll be a Jet. I just think Russell Wilson will be a Jet. I
It's
that's my
possible. It's possible. I don't know. I don't the
and you
Jet
know
I don't
what's
know what the
funny?
Jets future is.
Dale Midwest Jet would have loved that 3 years ago. He would have been all about it. But now, is he an upgrade
Now
over
that they've taken
Hopkins?
now that they've taken a Hall of Fame quarterback way past his prime and see what that resulted in.
I mean, Russell Wilson's still like what 4 years younger than Aaron Rodgers. So we'll
I
see if
mean,
it happens, but I mean, I just have a feeling he'll be a Jet. Anyway, yeah.
you're a
So Justin
Jet.
Fields is the guy that Tomlin will be going with. I mean, he'll have to.
I mean, it's an interesting perspective. Let's let the quarterback carousel start working its way around before we start, because I don't know. The Jets could end up with what's his name? From Atlanta. Cousins.
I
Oh my
I
God.
hope
What a
so.
marriage that would be. Daniel Jones.
I hope so.
Maybe Sam Darnold, maybe they get Sam Darnold back.
Dude, the Vikings are not letting Sam Darnold walk.
You don't think the Vikings are still in on JJ knowing that Darnold can't win in the playoffs?
No.
I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of speculation, but I don't know. I don't know if it's guaranteed Russell ends up with the Jets. I think it's possible though.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
nothing's guaranteed. I mean,
so speaking of the Jets, and just being terrible in general, Mike McCarthy and Dallas, they met, negotiated a contract, couldn't come to an agreement. He is going to go elsewhere. He's interviewed with the Bears already. But what does that mean? Where does he end up? And then a really interesting prospect came across. Now, I've been of the opinion that Dion is not coming back to Colorado next year. Like I've already it's already in my mind. He can say he said what he said in the media. My fellow Buff fans, we can have hope that he's going to keep developing that program. Dion is in it for Dion, and there's nothing left for him at CU now that his kids are graduated. So Dion Sanders met with he met with Jerry Jones.
You did.
This could he Dion Sanders could coach the fucking Cowboys next year. Like what a mess that would be.
Well, and then what if they, dude, and then we got to go all the way through this and say, let's trade Dak Prescott to Tennessee for that number one pick, and
And
then
take Shador.
um that would definitely be the plan if he were to be hired as coach.
You know what they could trade to Tennessee?
A lot of
Dak.
that's what I'm saying.
They
Dak,
trade Dak to
he would
Tennessee.
have, dude, he would absolutely have
You would
done.
have
So
to.
he
But
would
like,
have,
what else would they trade him for?
yeah, they're not just going to swap first picks, you know.
Yeah, and Tennessee needs a quarterback, so they might take Shador. That's not off the table.
It's true.
So, oh my
But
God, what a
I'm just
fucking
thinking,
what the fuck is this league anymore?
well, okay, you know Dion. You've dealt with him now for how long?
I
3 years?
know Dion well, man. Like,
So if he's the coach, his son's in the draft and he's going to be coaching a team, you know he's going to be like, my son's going first in the draft. Whatever we have to give, that's my terms to come and coach for you. If I can coach
no,
my son and he's the first pick of the draft, I'll coach for you.
okay, and then look at the other side of that coin. If I'm the Titans and I know that he wants his son and I have the first pick, man, you're gonna get you could just write a blank check that
Yeah.
with a Cowboys logo on it.
Yeah.
Like they might give him Mika. They might give him Mika. They might give him CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Like like all of the
They're
like I
like,
mean
I
how
want
how
Dak
did you
Prescott.
fire Mike McCarthy and make the Cowboys worse? That seems
I want
impossible.
I want Dak Prescott and your first round pick for the next 2 years.
Right. And Jerry would fucking do it because he's a goddamn cowboy.
Yeah. For
Like
Dion.
literally and figuratively. So yeah, fucking ridiculous. So I don't know. Like Mike McCarthy with the Bears makes a lot of sense because the Bears are fucking stupid in the way and they like hiring coaches with short names that begin with M. Um and yeah, Mike McCarthy, he won the Super Bowl with the Packers, so already the Bears have like kind of a oh, he did good with our rival, so they're already kind of fired up in that regard. I'm telling you, like if you're a Bears fan and if you hope Mike McCarthy gets that job, you're wrong. There's so many better coaches that are there's better coaches on the Bears staff now than there would be Mike McCarthy as a head coach.
Yeah, I agree. I
So
agree. We agree.
so yeah, like if you wanna come in fourth again,
Again.
hire Mike McCarthy again.
Oh man.
Outstanding. Coaching vacancies, nothing's changed. Nobody got hired. Not any injuries worth talking about because all of the injuries are for teams that are no longer in the playoffs. So they get to take some time and work their injuries out. All of the Packers wide receivers. And we got 4 games to predict.
We do.
What do you do?
And
Uh,
we
I was like, didn't we tie record last week? So
uh you were 2-4 and I was 4-2.
okay, so we didn't.
We could still tie. We could still tie.
We could still tie if I win out.
But
That's that. It's not gonna happen.
you gotta bring it this week.
All right. So here, let me flip. My daughter took my tube of Pogs, so I find something to flip. All right. I got this GI Joe stand here. So the nub is is heads and the logo is tails.
How
So
you guys like the budget for this show, eh?
I know, look at that. I have coins, I swear. Um, I have a very fancy coin, but it was given to me by a friend who was not at all supposed to give it to me, so I could get in a lot of trouble for having it. Um, all right. You want heads or tails on the Kansas City game?
Which one's heads? The nub?
The nub.
Nub should be the tail.
Okay, nub is tails though. Do you
All
want
right. I
nub or
want
no nub?
nub. I want tails.
All right. James wants the nub. And you're wrong. All right, I get to pick first. All right, Kansas City and Houston. I do think Kansas City is a pretender. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. I think they're going to beat Houston. Um,
I'm
CJ Stroud in an outdoor game against Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I think that Kansas City loses to any other team remaining in the AFC, but definitely not this game. So I'm taking the Chefs at
so
home.
glad to hear you say that because
I knew you would be.
I would have picked Houston, and I just want to say this. If Houston wins this game and goes on to the Super Bowl, my card collection is going to be worth a lot more. So that's why I'm rooting for Houston. Uh,
That's giving such Disco Stew vibes. Like,
I know
yeah,
it's
if these 1978 disco projections keep going, hey.
dude, here's the thing. I legit have 12 graded 10 CJ Stroud rookies, and I've not gotten rid of them for other things because I'm waiting for him to be at his high peak. And dude, it's really cool for a quarterback to come in his first 2 years and win the division and a playoff game. I don't know that that's ever happened before. In fact, I don't think that has ever happened before. So he's on a cool trajectory, but now he's got to get over the hump and become one of those guys that is the Mahomes, the Burrow, the Josh
Oh my
Allen.
God.
The,
Yeah, those Joe Burrow cards are so valuable. Every time I'm at a
I've
card
got
game.
one. I've got, dude, and I've got one of everybody that I'm like, this is never
Well,
leaving.
and I got a bunch of Trevor Lawrence rookies from a dude at a garage sale, and I've been just giving them to my kid. I'm like, here, here,
Oh,
here's
I
a
wouldn't do
football
that.
man.
They're still worth like 18 bucks a piece. If you got the Prism ones, I've
They're the matte black one.
I got 12 of the Prism rookies.
Yeah. I still have my big stack of Jordan Love rookies, still holding out hope.
That's good. I need to get my love graded. All right. So
Okay. So up next, I'll just let you pick first, because I picked the last one
I
first.
don't know. We got to flip on it,
Do you
remember?
want to flip again? All right, you want the nub again?
We need to do this throughout the playoffs until the Super Bowl.
All right, nub or no nub?
What's your call? You got to call it this time.
All right, I'll take the nub this time. And I was right.
Okay, okay.
Yes. Okay, Lions at home against Washington. Oh man, I hate to be boring, but I think the Lions, man,
Hey,
like
you got to make up.
I
I
know I
want
gotta make up for all my fucking horrible decisions last week. Like
I want Washington. So I
I
mean,
I, I want Washington to win this game. I just Detroit is savage, man. Like they're such a good fucking team. And what's so good about them this year is that in previous years they would fold in these big games, and then this year when they needed to win, they put the fucking hammer down.
yep,
When they
it's
played the Vikings in that last week, the last game of the season, they laid it on them. And the Vikings were ready. They had all the momentum.
oh, dude,
Detroit,
the second half came, the adjustments were made, and they got railed. The first half was great, and then the second half was like, what? What?
I don't know. And I think Washington, yeah, they beat a good Tampa team. I don't want to take anything away from them. Tampa is not Detroit. So I think the Lions are going to win this one big. This is where you see a rookie quarterback struggle in a game like this.
All right, so this is I would have picked Washington had I won. So we are on opposite sides of the fence in both of these scenarios. And I'm telling you, watch in this game. He may be a rookie quarterback, but you're not going to see that. Even if they lose, it ain't going to be because he got flustered or whatever. The defense for the Lions is not good, okay? It's not good.
It's not like terrible.
It's not terrible, but it's not good. They've given up many, many points this season, and Washington's not, they're on the up and up. They're not where they're gonna be, but they can score points, and their quarterback is awesome.
Yeah,
So
he's
we'll
great. He's
see.
gonna have a great career.
We'll
There's
see.
a reason no rookie quarterback has gone to a Super Bowl before.
We'll see. Well, yeah, and I'm not saying that he is, but because I'm still on
I mean,
Philadelphia.
if you beat the Lions, that's a pretty important fucking step. So
I mean, I'm still on Philly, so
you're still on. I mean, well, that'll make our next pick interesting.
I'll
Because
take the nub.
Philly
I'll
and
take
the
the nub.
Rams.
I'll take the nub.
You want the nub? All right.
I'll be wrong.
You're gonna want to win this one because I think we have the same team in mind. No nub. I feel like being charitable and taking the Rams, but I no.
You got to catch up, bro. You got to
I gotta
catch.
catch up. I'm taking Philly. Like, yeah, I hate to be fucking boring, but like, yeah, dude, the Rams, like, I don't know how like the Rams played a great game against the Vikings. They did. They played a complete game. They showed a kind of a core. They showed the colors of what Sam Darnold actually was and the struggles that Minnesota was supposed to have on offense the entire season. Philly is a juggernaut. They are the best team in the playoffs. I mean, and that's why I said I even said on the show last week. If the Packers win that game against the Eagles, they're going to win the Super Bowl. If the Rams win this game, they could win the Super Bowl. They're not going to win this fucking game. Like Saquon, that receiving core, that offensive line, that fucking defensive line, those DBs, like Philly, they're just perfect. They're like a complete team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I'm not going to argue that. They're a legit team, man. But I also want to remind you that they already played this year in October, and the Eagles, and this is like back when the Rams were like oh and whatever,
Yeah.
and it was only 14-23. Now the Eagles have gotten better, but I believe the Rams have. I'm not going to count them out.
Okay.
They're one of those teams that I just don't know what they're
I was
capable of.
like, I think like week 7, the Packers beat the Rams by like 25. So
Yeah,
teams change. This is why we have a playoff, everybody.
indeed,
So it wasn't just that they didn't just say, okay, Lions and Chiefs play in the Super Bowl and nobody else gets a chance.
indeed. All right,
So James has the Rams by default.
and he's okay with that. I have all three underdogs
I
too.
was gonna say all the road teams. All right. So it's my call. I'm gonna take no nub. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I don't even know who to pick in this game though. Um,
Fine with either one that I get stuck with.
I know this is the one game that I think this is gonna be the most fun game to watch. I think that's why it's in the primetime slot. Um, Buffalo hosting Baltimore. This is a classic AFC matchup. This is the two best quarterbacks in the league are facing each other on Sunday. Fucking awesome. So I'm gonna take Buffalo at home. I'm not confident in that pick whatsoever. Um, the reason I'm picking Buffalo is because I saw a guy on the sideline wearing a top hat, a dress coat, no shirt, big old fat hairy chest, and a gold chain with a chicken wing on the end of it at the Buffalo game. And because of that man, I'm going to give the Bills the edge.
All right. So now that we have our picks made, let's look at the mix-up that we got here. We potentially have, if Gobo has his way, Buffalo and Kansas City championship game.
Again.
I am 100% good with that if that happens. Now let's tilt the other way. You could have Baltimore, Kansas City. I'm okay with that as well.
Another classic matchup.
Another banger. You could have Houston at Buffalo.
Or Houston at Baltimore.
or Houston at Baltimore. Any one of those scenarios is gonna be fire, dude.
I mean,
Seriously.
if Stroud finds a way to win this game at Arrowhead, I am going to be back on the believing in the Texans bandwagon.
Yeah, dude, I like how loose they are. They were not uptight at all during that game, and they were
Right.
smiling and laughing and yeah, just having fun.
And that was a good Chargers team, man. Justin Herbert's a good
Oh yeah,
quarterback.
oh yeah. They were good. And I mean, they put the hurt on him. They turned him over like what, three times?
Yeah.
So now on the other side of the coin, you could have Washington at the Rams.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that game.
Nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wants to see that
Any
game.
of the other four game options in
And
the
the
AFC,
the
everybody's
the
like,
the dude who lives in the apartment in Inglewood next to SoFi Stadium doesn't want to see that
yeah.
game.
And
Uh,
so you could have Washington against Philly, which we've seen twice already this season,
right, they're fucking division rivals.
and they split.
Yeah,
So that would be maybe interesting, but I think everybody wants
Detroit, Philly.
Detroit, Philly. I mean,
That's the game I want to see.
so the reason I even brought up this little segmenty thing is because in the AFC you have like I'm good with any way that it goes, but in the NFC, this is the way it has to be, or it's going to be.
Very specific, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, if it was Washington and anybody but Philly and the Rams, like any of the Washington, Green Bay would have been phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
Washington, who else got eliminated from the NFC? But Tampa Bay, phenomenal.
yeah. I mean, there's so many matchups. Like, what about like a Chargers Broncos AFC Championship? Like that would be fun to watch.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
or like a Super Bowl with Washington and Denver, the two rookies.
there you go. That would have
Like
been
fucking awesome.
yeah.
But
I
yeah,
mean, but this NFC window, and I love Washington. Don't get me wrong.
mhm.
If it was for some reason Washington versus the Rams, I'm all in on Washington, and I'm like, please win this fucking Super Bowl. Please win it all, because then you'd have like Jaden Daniels, like he would be the new Mahomes. Like he'd be the talk of the town. Mahomes would be
Absolutely.
left in the dust.
If he made the Super Bowl as a rookie, oh my God. I mean, you could like I said, blank check. Washington's whole salary cap is going to go to him in a couple of years.
Well, and I've got a little bit of stake there because first ballot Hall of Famer Bobby Wagner is playing out his final days there, and he's still awesome. He had a fumble recovery in this game that changed the game for them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up, how the AFC is like
I know AFC
wide
is just
open.
it's all bangers and the
But
NFC
I
is like
knew you would
one.
be like, yeah, I don't want to see Washington and the Rams,
No,
and
nobody wants to see that game.
I don't
You
want to
know?
see the Eagles, Washington three times in a
Yeah,
season.
like yeah, like we want to see Matt Stafford. Like, yeah, shut up. Get out of here. But I honestly a- anything can happen. These are all great teams. Philly and Detroit should win. Like if those teams lose, they would have to make a lot of mistakes.
And there's going to be repercussions for, I mean, at least in Philly, I would think. So,
Yeah, I think Dan Campbell probably has a key to the city at this point up in Detroit. But
and that's
uh,
fair. It's fair, dude. He's
I
earned.
mean, yeah, I mean you got the number one overall seed, won two division championships in a row with the Lions, with the team that ruined
Does that
everybody's
put
career who's
like
ever played there.
does that put a lot of pressure on him? Like he kind of has to win this game. He has to beat Washington.
It is a lot of pressure, and from what I can tell, it doesn't fucking bother him.
No, I mean, I'm
The
sure
guy who's used to pressure. He was an NFL player. He's been an NFL
he
coach.
trusts
Pressure's
this
his
guy.
game.
He absolutely trusts his guys. You can tell that when he's going for it on fourth and 20, uh, on the
Yeah,
50.
when you go for a 4th and 3 in the first quarter on your own 17-yard line, yeah, that says a lot about your faith in your players.
So dude, I'm sad it's just Wednesday that we're talking about it because I want it to be here or I'm ready to go.
Um,
But yeah, we'll see you guys next week, I suppose. And
yeah, yeah. We'll have our dude. We're gonna have our conference championships next week, one way or the other. So we're talking about next week the four teams. Two of them, half of them are gonna be in the Super Bowl. It's
wow.
crazy. Another one in the books, man.
Whew.
Oh God, if the fucking Chiefs win the Super Bowl again.
I mean, I'm good with it, dude, because it's something that's never happened, and
I mean, it is. It is. And Patrick Mahomes. Okay, let's think about this, and we can talk about this more down the line as it gets closer. If Patrick Mahomes wins the Super Bowl this year, does that at least start the conversation that he's better than Brady?
yes,
I think it does. I think that's totally
that's
fair.
something that Brady never did. Dude, I think by this time Brady had only won one Super Bowl.
I was gonna say he definitely did it a lot faster,
And
but
so,
if he plays the same amount of time in the league as Tom Brady, he will probably win more Super Bowls.
and I don't think that he necessarily has to win more than Tom to be better, to be considered greater. Um, I think there's a lot that factors into that. Uh, but at the same time, this is the more important thing to me than the GOAT conversation. They win the Super Bowl this year. Travis Kelce, does he retire? I would think he at least strongly considers it because
I
he's
think he would. Yeah, just for the
let's
fact
do it.
that he has such a career in front of him from a media perspective that like he doesn't need to keep playing football to make money.
Dude, and his brother is a center and has a bigger career now that he's done than he did when he was a player. I mean, as a center, right? A guy that get the least sexy position in all of football, besides maybe the punter or the
I
long.
was gonna say I was a center for a while, yeah, and
Yeah, dude,
it's
we were fat
uncomfortable.
guys. We had to be, but
I mean, yeah,
what's your stat? Sacks allowed and pancake
and
blocks
pancakes, yeah,
and fucking fumbled snaps
right,
and
right,
false starts. It's all bad. It's all
yeah.
bad.
You can only do bad as an
Yeah.
offensive lineman.
So that's no, it's not sexy. But I think Andy Reid, regardless of whether they win or lose, he stays and tries for the fourth. But after that, I think he's gonna potentially walk. Got nothing
It's
else to
hard. I mean, I
do.
don't care how old you are. When you're winning, it's hard to quit.
That's true. That's
Ask
true.
Bill Belichick.
But I mean, he's already got, health issues. Belichick never had like to be carted out
I
of a
know.
practice.
I know. Bill Belichick is basically Karl Rove. Like he's gonna live to be like 400 years old. Smells like a Seahawks win. It does not.
It's it's burned out. It's all gone.
I mean, the cheese is officially hardened over the nachos that were this season.
That's right.
So
Um,
yeah, we haven't talked about yeah. So regional foods. We got cheese steaks. We got buffalo wings. We got
ooh, what are we gonna eat for? I think I'm gonna make stromboli for the games.
Stromboli's good.
Or a calzone.
Yeah, I know. I'm yeah, yeah. Fue a la Mexico este weekend, fin de semana. So yeah, I'll be making birria tacos for everybody.
There you go.
I'm staying at a beachside mansion with 9 lesbians. I wish I was making that up. It's gonna be fun though. We're gonna go jet
Yeah.
skiing and hopefully see a whale.
Yeah.
But I will find time to watch the playoffs though. Lots of football fans in that house.
Course you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're lesbians. They love
I was
football.
gonna say no. My Amanda, one of the gals I'm going with, I call her my lady bro. We always go to the bar and watch football together. She's the best.
Well, shout out.
Yeah. What up, lady bros? My other lady bro, Cassandra, is not going as a Titans fan, so poor thing.
Oh, well, she doesn't have anything to watch anyway, so
It's true. All right. Anyways, lesbians, non-lesbians, thank you for watching. Follow us on social media, like, share, and subscribe, all the good jazz. Check out our live streams whenever we get around to doing them. And yeah, take care of each other. Go football, as my 2-year-old would say. And fuck the Jets.
Fuck the Jets.
Fuck the Jets.
Fuck 'em.
Fuck them.
Oh shit.